have to do...
I have to do what?
You can't just do an audio start this time.
Well, no,
Because they have to...
It's the Jack
and Kathy
show.
Shit Show.
And there we go.
Yeah,
Okay, I think if
Okay. Show my wedding rings.
What?
Oh, what'd you do this weekend, Jack?
Oh,
Did you have anything
committed
going
my
on?
life to eternal hell.
We got married. Hello, husband.
Oh, God.
How come you don't like it when I call you husband?
It's not that you call me husband that I don't like. You've been doing it the whole week. You don't even say Jack anymore. You go, husband.
Husband.
You've been yelling out, or husband. We'll be sitting there in the kitchen. You go, husband, can you pass me the... And it's just the core. I know you're excited.
Makes you pay attention, though, doesn't it?
Is that it? It's like, because I had a lack of paying attention before.
Yeah.
How come if I say wife, it just has a different connotation? Wife. Silence is not good on a podcast.
You don't call me wife. I do call you husband all the time, though.
No, you don't. You
husband.
In the last week, that's all you've been calling me.
We're going to call this the Husband and Kathy Shit Show. From now on.
That's all you've been calling me.
We're going to change all of your official documents and...
I lost my name.
We're going to...
It's just husband?
It's just husband. You've lost your identity. Usually it's the women that lose their identity. We change our names, but you're just going to be husband. You're not even going to get a name. You're just going to get a label.
It sounds like, so I had this dream that I didn't really have, but I'm making up right now because it just popped into my head. But I'm being honest with you. I have this dream now that you and your family are behind this, and like your dad and brother are going to come over to the house and go, we need to talk. And it's going to be like Hotel California.
You can check in, but you can never leave.
I'm going to have to sign over a bunch of documents. You're going to start just
not that many documents.
You're going to start eating bonbons, taking all my money.
Is that how it goes?
Yeah.
Bonbons, then money?
Whatever.
I think I'll do the money first, then the bonbons. Because I'll just have a lot more leisure time.
You are way leaning into this. I feel like the hooks are in and there's no escaping. Oh, no.
We had a great weekend.
We had a marvelous weekend. Mm-hmm. It was very fun.
Yeah, Friday, the kids
Do you want to recap the weekend?
Well, sure.
All right, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Do it,
Friday,
Mama.
the kids, for those that are tuning in for the first time, we have 5 kids between us. Jack has 3. I have 2. All the kids came in, and your daughter Key had her partner Rainey with her. And then, of course, Alex had her husband and yummy grandson, Eli. And everybody came in, and they had a surprise for us. And the surprise was that we all went to a cooking class where we made schnitzel and spätzle and strudel and
schnitzel, spätzle, strudel. Those are the things you made. Yeah, it was amazing.
And a cucumber salad. And we had this wonderful meal that we all cooked together. We each made our own thing, and it was great. I had never made... Really, maybe I had made the cucumber salad, but it was really fun. Well, it was delicious.
Your kids, I wonder if my kids feel the same way because I've not recapped that piece with my kids yet. Mm-hmm. But your kids yesterday were interesting. They were let down by it.
They weren't let down by it. They just thought it was different. They had imagined something different. Like they thought they would learn more techniques, and the cooking class was. I mean, I don't know. There were some techniques I think we picked up on. Like if you've never tenderized a meat before, and I certainly learned how to properly hold a knife. I was doing it almost right. You and I were similar. We
almost right, yeah.
We were doing it almost right. And so good tips there. And
Well, when
then-
it came to tenderizing meat, which he taught us how to beat meat, which you're usually good at.
yeah.
You beat meat really well.
You've been doing it your whole life, so you were, of course, masterful.
Oh, I'm a master beater. And now to a commercial break.
I don't know what that noise was. I just
Well,
did.
do you remember though when the instructor came by and said it's already dead to Sam?
Yes,
that was
exactly.
great because my son Sam was. We have to clarify, son. My son
Yes,
Sam was
yes, we
truly pounding his meat,
Yes,
but very aggressively. Where the chef comes by and goes, "It's already dead."
yeah, exactly.
was great.
Exactly.
I thought it was. What I take away from the cooking experience was just being with everybody.
Mm-hmm. Most
And it was
definitely.
wonderful. We love our families, our siblings and in-laws and all that, and our kids,
course.
and our kids at the same time take such a huge priority for us. I think that's something we both
Mm-hmm.
really have in common.
Yeah.
And again, you and I have talked about this on the cast. We'll never know what it's like to be children of divorced parents and have to get to meet other, step siblings, so to speak.
Yeah.
And our kids are adults too, so it's not like we were introducing them when they were 5 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do believe that's different. Do you agree with all this?
Absolutely.
And so we'll never know what that feels like. And
Yeah.
we can do our best to try to lean into it. It's never going to be the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, where I'm going with this is that it's also important to us that the 5 of them and their respective partners can hang out together,
Yes.
And so that's why giving them the house when you and I went to a hotel for Friday and Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
there's a little bit of crossing fingers there that everyone's going to
Mm-hmm.
get along well. Again, they're all adults, so they know how to be in adult situations.
Mm-hmm.
But wasn't it awesome just to see them all having fun on
Gosh,
Friday?
most definitely. Yes, that made my mommy heart proud, even though you and I weren't, sitting with them the entire time. The idea of knowing that they were together, just getting to know each other a little bit better. I don't harbor these secret expectations or dreams of them all being best friends and texting each other all the time or anything like that. I just hope, and you have no guarantee, that they'll all reasonably like hanging in the same room together for a while, and that's not a painful thing for them. That's really all I hope for, because we hope to get together with them many times over the years, and it'd be nice if everybody was like, "Hey, how you doing?"
Well,
Yeah, let's chill.
little things like Mac wasn't feeling hot during the week. Prior to getting here, your
Yeah.
daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and you and I had talked about this. By the way, it's Monday, October 7th when we're recording this. We got married on the 5th, and the reason my voice sounds so rough is that Kath and I were exhausted. Went to bed at 8:00 and woke up at 2:30 or 2:00. You did. I woke up at 3,
Mm-hmm.
and so we're both a little bit tired right now because it's like probably 6:30 here in the morning. We're recording this so we can get it published before we hit the road. But anyway, I'm just recognizing my voice sounds really congested. So I thought it was cool that at one point Mac called you and said, "Hey, with the baby being there, I don't want to upset Alex in any way," right? All that kind of stuff. And you and I both kind of leaned into saying, "Well, call Alex. Tell her how you're feeling." And Mac had suggested wearing a mask. And the result of all this is that Alex then writes us and essentially says, it was really nice of Mac to reach out to me.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that they're adults. And
Yes.
again, if any of the kids are listening, and it's usually Alex and Sam that do, the other ones don't, and maybe we'll encourage them to listen to it. But if any of them are listening to it, we really appreciate the fact that you're stepping into what Kathy and I mean to one another. And I really think
I
that's
do
it.
feel like they've all accepted that, and accepted that they want to see us happy.
Yeah.
And not in spite of our exes in any way. I think they all have leaned into that. Now, whether or not that's still what they would put on their bucket list or their wish list for their parents is
Yeah.
not necessarily this journey.
Yeah.
And I I made it a point to acknowledge that a few different times, and I acknowledged it in my vows to you, where I said something to the effect of, thank you for welcoming, or thank you to my children for welcoming you. I know you had no choice in what this journey was going to be like, and I just thank you for your support and your love,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a biggie. That's a biggie. And your ex-wife sent a bottle of champagne,
Which was really nice.
Very, very
yeah.
nice.
And I
Yep.
want to send formal thank you cards. I just didn't want to text people.
Mm-hmm.
So I want
Absolutely.
us to send formal cards to folks. So
we will.
So I want to ask you a question. This
Okay.
just popped into my head.
I got answers.
Do you have any regrets? Things that you
Well,
wish
there's
we would
one
have
letter.
done?
One
Yeah,
letter.
even
Yeah.
one letter. Do you have anything from the wedding that you're like, oh snap, I wish we would have done this? Like, I have no pictures of me and my daughter having fun on the dance floor at our wedding. Remember I told you we didn't go into that booth, just her and I, with her in her wedding dress on and all that?
Oh yes, from
Do you-
her wedding.
From her wedding. So
I'm
there
like,
was that thing
dance
that
floor. We didn't have a
No,
dance
no,
floor.
no.
Where,
No, I mean,
where did you disappear
Woo,
to?
I had a blast. I meant that after Alex's wedding, I was crying the next day going, fuck, I didn't take a picture with her in the photo
Yeah.
booth.
Yeah.
And do you have anything from the night that you look back at and go, oh, I wish we would have done this or that, which is normal. Do you have anything?
Not that I can think of. I wish it wasn't as windy for our ceremony.
Yeah.
Not only because that's a challenge for everybody just standing out there and hairs blowing all over and all of that, but
Yeah.
more specifically to Erin, our officiant, and she designed a bunch of beautiful things to put into the park, and they were blowing all over and it wreaked havoc, and she was sweating, and then you came and helped too, and you were sweating, and it was so that logistical
and the Sams
part
were
of it.
very helpful too, and
Yeah,
anyway, but no regrets.
no regrets. How about you?
None. Like,
Yeah.
I look back at it and I don't feel there was a moment where I didn't do or say or think something. And I did take in the moment. I don't know if you had a chance just to look around and take it all in.
I did. In fact, when I arrived at the park, I was walking with my father, and I said, oh, stop here. I got to soak this in. And I
Oh, you
just
did?
looked at everybody. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you see me talking to you or mouthing things to you or smiling at you, or not really?
Not at first, because
Okay.
I was truly looking.
Scanning,
I was
yeah.
scanning the people. I was
Yeah.
looking at all the faces.
Yeah.
And that was really overwhelming to
Yeah.
just look at everybody. I cry like a baby. I cry
You
so
do.
easily.
You do.
And during our vows, I was like,
Were you okay that I was
breathe.
holding you like that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't know if that was going to upset you, that was my form of comforting for you. And I hope you.
Of course, I knew that.
Okay.
Yeah, of course I knew.
All right.
Yeah. No, you're awesome. So no regrets, not at all. And I'm very happy I married you.
Oh, I'm so
like
happy you married me also.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm happy I married you, of course. It feels, we were laughing this morning because, so everyone knows, we were lying in bed watching a rom-com, and
Actually, it's really good.
it's really cute.
What's it called?
Not like this. What about this? What this is?
No.
Oh shit.
Nobody wanted this.
Nobody wants this.
Nobody wants
Is that
this.
it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kirsten
yeah, that's
Bell.
it. Kirsten Bell, and I don't know anyone else.
Kirsten
is
or Kristen? Kristen Bell?
Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell?
Kristen Bell, I think. Yeah.
And it's actually really cute.
So we were lying in bed this morning, and we'll get. I have a feeling that if there are people listening, that they want to know the details, and so we'll walk through some of those things, which is kind of cool. But I want to ask you some of these questions that are popping through my head. What were we just talking about? I just lost my train of thought. We're lying in bed.
rom-com,
No, so we're lying in bed, and I said, "Do you feel different? Does it feel weirder to you?" And we both said no, right?
No.
And then so we're watching this rom-com, and it's beautifully written, right? And beautiful or well-written stories have arcs and tension and all that kind of stuff. And we were kind of laughing how there was no build-up for us. We went from meeting each other to, yeah, we're together. And that doesn't mean you've listened to the podcast. We've had our moments. I'm not suggesting we didn't have struggles or challenges getting to know one another. But like anything at this day and age or stage of life that we're all in, dating is usually on apps, not all the time, but most often on apps. And so you get off the apps when you're ready to be serious or committed, right? And we did that instantly. Like the very first weekend, we're done.
Yep.
Right? We knew this was something worth pursuing, and we didn't have that arc, that little tension, and he's cute, and the TV shows will create some of that tension where you're anxiously waiting for the 3 dots to turn into a text as you're staring at the cell phone. And I get it. That's Hollywood, right? But we never had that. We never sat by the phone wondering, did he reply to my text?
Right.
I would send you a text and go, I got to go do my stuff. And I would get a text from you and go, oh, she texted me. But I never sat there anxious or pining. And anyway, it made me think of it.
We didn't play games. We didn't...
No, it's weird that maybe it's our age, stage of life, what we had before this.
I think that's a lot of it.
Right?
I mean, we're older, we're mature, and we're probably less patient with a lot of that stuff. You'd be like, oh, you playing a game? I'm out.
We don't have to think of I'm not.
I'm out.
Well, I also didn't tell stories in my head. I learned to not create stories.
It's very easy to tell a story. Like in the rom-com, she texts him something witty and clever after their date, and she doesn't hear from him for hours and hours. And she thinks she crossed a line and was... What she thought was funny wasn't funny, and maybe it was inappropriate. And she then, builds up this whole story as to why he didn't text and it turns out there was an emergency and he left his phone in the car. Well, he wasn't even looking at it.
Spoiler alert.
Whatever.
The point is we never did that, and yet I wish, this whole podcast was born out of you wanting to share our life experiences, right? And it's really kind of cool, Kath, because in preparation for my vows to you, I actually went back and looked at every one of our podcasts. Not listened to them. That's way too much time. But there's 97 now, right? This is our 98th, I think. There were 98 episodes. And I just read through them and went, fuck, look at all this. We had to introduce each other to our kids, and then introducing the kids to one another, and talking about our exes and meeting the exes for the first time. I met your ex at your niece Jessica's wedding, right? And all those things. And I went, God, we have been through so much in 3 years. And yet you and I still talk about the Carryman and when we met. Yeah. And I wish I could bottle for this sounds so pathetic. And maybe I really want you to I know you hear me and see me so well. So I need you to translate which I'm having a difficult time articulating. I wish for people who are looking for people like you and I have with one another, I wish I could bottle up what we did or package it in some way that says, here's the solution. And I keep telling you, I'm shocked by how we got here.
I think there's a huge market of the economy that is based on people trying to bottle that up and package it so that it can be sold to those searching for it.
And we just got lucky. I really feel that. I know preparation meets opportunity and all this other kind of stuff and right state of mind, but man, I feel like I'm the luckiest human being on the planet every day.
We definitely both feel lucky, and at the same time, babe, we put ourselves out there for it to happen. We didn't just sit at home. We took the risk on the dating app, and we went through many trials on the dating apps, and we went through a lot to get here. And just, I do feel lucky. I can't say that luck doesn't feel a part of it. I feel so fortunate and it does feel like luck is a part of it, but I really think we work at it. We work at it. We pay attention to it. And I really feel it's daily that we pay attention to it, and we want.
When you say, can I interrupt you for a second? Do you mind?
Mm-mm.
When we say pay attention to it, this is my feeling. I'm curious yours. We pay attention to how we show up for each other. And we know
1000%.
when we're not showing up our best. And early on, we struggled with that because we wanted to make sure we had our sense of self, right? So you struggle with that. Well, wait a minute. This is the way I talk, or this is the way I think. But when it doesn't serve us, we pivoted quickly to maintaining ourself and showing up for the other person in a way that made sense. I do agree with you wholeheartedly. Everyone has to go back and listen to some episodes. One is called, I think it was The Crack in the Armor, where we had some moments where we both were wondering, is this going to move forward, right? So I think, why is it that we both wanted to work at this, though, you know? Or do you think that's our nature? Do you think that's just who we are as people?
Well, I'm definitely a pleaser, but I don't think that's necessarily what's at play here. I think I truly recognized that you were worth working for. This relationship was worth working for. You checked boxes in terms of, quite frankly, age and interests, and
Libido.
You actually win on that one.
Thank you.
And there were just your children, your family. I find you intelligent and
Go on.
smart.
Go
Oh,
on.
I will.
Keep
I
going.
will.
Keep
I know you're
going.
joking, but I will. And and handsome and active and outdoorsy and creative, and it's like check. I'm just like, I like this dude. And we just clearly, as we sit here at our podcast, can talk nonstop. We
laugh.
I don't know. We
all the
even say
time
to each
still.
other, like, do you think it'll end someday? Like when we've been married, like 10 years or 20 years, do you think we'll run out of things to say? And I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Mostly because of you. You can talk.
Oh, ouch.
You're a talker. I mean that in a good way.
I know you do. We talk about a lot. So, all right. So anyway, I just,
Yeah.
I
so
wish
I think we work at it
we do.
because we value
We see the value
that
in this, and we both
foundation, and
correct.
it's worth
Yeah, I agree.
working for. So yes, luck was a factor, but it's all those other things.
But we
too.
maintain it because of our efforts, for sure. All right. So now I got some. Okay,
Sorry, one other
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Timing. The timing of it. You don't, how often have you met somebody and thought, if I had just met you 2 years earlier,
Yeah.
6 months earlier, 5 years later, or whatever,
Right.
and you think, oh yeah, that timing in life wasn't quite right.
Right.
And I think the timing was right for us because I had that job in Chicago, and the job was, COVID hit, and it was challenging. It had its challenges. And I've said to a couple of friends, like, I know someday it'll make sense as to why I'm in Chicago for this chapter of my life. It's not the job itself. There's some other reason. And it's so freaking clear that it was to meet you.
Yeah.
It was because I don't think I would have put an Illinois dating radius.
You wouldn't have expanded
I
the radius.
would not have put the
Right,
radius
right.
into Illinois if I was just on the apps, because that,
Yeah.
So
I get it.
anyway, yeah. So
All
what were
right.
you
So
gonna
wedding
say?
questions. I got some more questions for you. All right. So
I was there, so I have answers.
Yeah. Yeah. What was so first of all, I thought it was hilarious that you FaceTimed me when you were all ready for the wedding, which you never do that, right? You never see
I
the
thought
bride.
you said.
No, it was cute.
Oh, okay.
But
I thought you
didn't
said
mind it.
FaceTime me.
Well, I think you get older and it's who cares, right?
Yeah,
we don't
exactly.
see the bride. Give me a break.
Yeah.
But I appreciate how people want to surprise their partners. We shared each other's dresses and suits together, right? We knew what we were going to wear. And at part, we wanted to make sure it looked nice and all that together and coordinated. Anyway, what you did surprise me with was your hair, even though I knew you were going to do that. Because I
of
know,
course.
I love your hair that way. That's when I'm that's when I literally lose my breath, is when your hair is like that. Isn't that crazy that's what'll make me lose my breath is you do that thing with your hair and it's, oh, fuck, she's just stunning.
And what he's talking about is he likes the little bang tendrils coming down And
Yeah, I think I call them the Jewish curls, but I don't know what else to call them. It's terrible.
that is terrible.
Well, but that's how it. I don't know. I'm stupid sometimes. Anyway, so questions for you. What was your most fun moment on Friday with the kids?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe just when they all arrived at the house, you know. Yeah, and I love the cooking class. I loved witnessing them, and the chatter in between amongst them. That was
Yeah.
But probably when they first arrived, because it was just like, oh my gosh, they're here!
I
Yay!
think that was my most favorite. I loved the dinner. That was all great. I had a blast when they all showed up because you and I were both so thrilled to see everybody. And for me, the most thrilling part was, so what you guys got to know is for as small as a wedding as we had, 36 people were there, right? We met friends later, but we'll get to that. For as small as a wedding that we had, there were a shit ton of details that I hope everybody saw and recognized, because you and I truly poured our soul and heart into this wedding to be as sincere and dedicated to everybody that attended, right? And so we gave all the kids, Kathy's idea, chocolates from a local chocolatier. Shout out to what's the name of that
Indulgence.
place? Indulgence. So I'm going to send them a link to the fact that we talked about them.
Yeah.
So we got every kid that stayed with us little chocolates, right? And then Kathy got flowers for every room and for every sleeping area for the kids. And then Kathy wrote a card for all of them. Well, we both wrote
on the card, but we gave them a little card with a special note.
Yeah, I said, thank you for being here. And that to me was the most fun, was seeing them go in the room. And even my son, Sam, he wanted the basement. He wanted to be relegated to the basement. Wait, there's a card? And they went right back downstairs, and I feel everyone was touched by that.
Oh,
I'm glad. That to me was my most fun, is seeing them show up and showing them that detail, and all the bedrooms are perfectly made for them and set up. And in fact, I don't know if you heard Alex say this on Sunday. She was really cute. She went, "Oh God, we got to go sleep in that bed," because they don't like that bed as much.
It's too small for them.
It's too small for them, and they realized that they got our king, and they went, "Oh God, that bed was so good." So that was my Friday. All right, so now let's go. I'm going to break this down because I'm curious to see how.
Okay.
We've not really talked about this.
No, we
right?
haven't.
Okay, cool. So this is first for both of us. Saturday morning, what was fun about just our time Saturday morning?
Saturday morning, I really had fun working out with you.
It was
Saturday
a blast,
morning.
wasn't it?
Yeah, we did. We got a good workout in. We were both very light of heart and just happy, and
we were so happy Saturday morning.
The day was actually here, and just really enjoying each other's company. Thank goodness. That's what you kind of wanted on your wedding day. But
we woke up early. We stayed at the club that we belong to, has a beautiful hotel space in it. So we got up at 6:00. My most fun was how we just said, let's change, because we work out together all the time. And we did this sled workout, and we just completely changed everything we do. We got super drenched. And then at our club, if you work out on the weekends, they give you a pass called a Weekend Warrior Pass, which gets you a free drink at the bar at the top on the top floor. So here's my memory. Am I taking over?
Not at all,
okay.
babe.
So we also hadn't finished writing our vows, and I'm getting anxious now.
Correct.
So I said to Kath, we got to go write our vows. So we work out, clean up. I wasn't taking a big shower. I mean, just a rinse off thing because we're going to get cleaned up later. But then we went up and had Bloody Marys and breakfast with our computers. Well, you use your phone. We're both typing our vows. I'm laughing because clearly mine were sillier.
Yeah.
And you're crying.
I'm crying.
You're crying as you're writing your vows.
I can't get through any of that stuff.
And you sent a picture to Carol and Dennis and your family.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we all sent the picture of us having a Bloody Mary working on our vows.
Yes.
And Carol said to us later, remember when she said this?
What'd she say?
At the no, maybe she said it to me, not you. I think she said it to me at the wedding before you got there. She's like, "How cool is it?" No, she said it after. I was so jealous that you guys worked out and then had a Bloody Mary. She said it was so fun to see how much fun you guys were having.
Yes.
So that was my Saturday morning. That was yours?
Yeah, absolutely.
What was your second favorite part of Saturday morning?
To the morning.
Because I have one. These are clearly leading questions because I have things.
Well, I mean, then we divided. You went with the guys and did your thing, which I think is your second favorite thing.
No, it's my third favorite.
Oh, okay. And I enjoyed. So my girlfriend Carrie did makeup.
Can I interrupt you?
What?
So you never told me what it was.
Oh no, I know what you're gonna say.
What was I gonna say?
When we got home and all the kids were sitting around playing euchre.
Yeah, how
and
cool
eating
is that?
breakfast.
Eating breakfast, playing euchre. I thought that was the coolest thing.
It was.
We get in and it's here's the parents.
It's chaos.
Right.
It's like dogs and shoes and
clothes and food right.
and cups and everything. And they're playing euchre and it was really.
And
cute.
we almost didn't have to be there, right? We just kind of showed up, got our stuff, and left,
Absolutely.
which was awesome.
Yeah.
So so that was yours too.
Yeah.
Okay. So you never told me. You never told me the details of your day. Do you know that?
We've been going nonstop.
I know.
This is the first time we're sitting down talking about this. So,
so tell me, what did you? So for everyone listening, we split up the day. So I took the fellas, Kathy took the ladies.
You took all three Sams. So your son Sam, my son Sam, and your son-in-law Sam.
How about this? Do you know why
Sam did the third power?
Well, you know why Sam did, it was. I don't think Mac liked that it was Sam 3 because she felt Sam was relegated to the third place. But here's why it's Sam
my
3.
Sam.
Your Sam.
You can't just say Sam.
But if you say son,
Sam Henry,
right? But you can say son, Sam's son-in-law. What did I have? I had 3 of them for me. Like no, I got it. No, it wasn't son-in-law. Son-in-law is 2 Sams, which is Sam 2. Sam, son-in-law, get it? Stepson Sam is 3 S's. Get it? How about that? And then Sam, which is my son. It could be son Sam, which would be 2, but let's just keep it to 1.
Yeah.
Anyway, I took Sam cubed.
Got it.
Out to lunch. So what did you guys do? So I didn't hear any
we
of
set
this.
up in the kitchen and it was really lovely because my girlfriend Carrie came to do makeup and my girlfriend Lisa came to do hair. And we were all in the kitchen. And so myself, of course, and then Mackenzie, my daughter, Alex, your daughter, and Key, your daughter, we all got our hair and makeup done. And it was, I think everybody was super happy and felt good. And it was all kinds of chaos and moving parts. And some people were having a little bit of champagne. I think I had a little champagne and it was great. It was great. But there's always a little worry that you're not going to be ready in time. Like you're still watching the clock, you know?
Yeah.
So it wasn't completely leisurely.
Yeah.
And I'm running up and down the stairs doing thises and that's. And so, but it was phenomenal having that time and everybody seemed pretty happy. And it worked out. It worked out great.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys had fun.
We had a really
So everyone
good
got their
time.
makeup and hair done. Did everyone get hair done or just makeup?
Both. Yeah.
Did you have have food?
It got Alex and Mackenzie gave their hair a good blow dry on their own because a blowout can take an hour. Like if a hairdresser is going to blow out your hair, that's a time consuming thing versus if you do it yourself. So they helped the clock situation by taking some of that on.
What did you guys do for food?
Nothing.
You didn't eat?
We didn't eat.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Was anyone hungry?
They said no.
You're shitting me.
No. Mm-mm.
Wow.
Yeah, I was bad. I don't know if I was.
Well, I know if someone had said we're hungry, you would have ordered Jimmy John's or something.
Right.
You would have done something like that. Okay, I was surprised. So no food.
No.
Oh.
No.
I hope they weren't upset. They would have said something, right?
I hope so.
They would have said they're hungry.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I was so busy.
Yeah. Well, it's okay.
Yeah. So that was it.
So we went to.
I didn't even have snacks out. Goodness. Oh no, I did bring out some chips and salsa.
I saw you said you did that.
I brought out some chips and salsa, but I was not paying attention to the food part. Oh. My bad. I was a bad host in that way. Hostess.
So we shifting gears, we went to Ernesto where the dinner was, right? And Emmy, shout out to her. She was fantastic. The manager for events at Emmy's. But we get there and Meg, and we're both super tired. We're yawning. We get there and Meg and your friend Jenny were there. Our friend Jenny was there, and they were doing the flowers and setup. And so the guys helped me put all the place cards and seating cards together, which was fun. We set up all the other pictures and stuff, made sure the photos were scrolling. I don't know why the photos were upside down. That was annoying.
I know.
Later on, but we'll get there. But it was really cool to see Meg and Jen. They were truly earnest about making that a beautiful setting for you, and it was. The flowers.
Yeah, the flowers
and everything
were
was just
glorious.
stunning. Everything was fantastic. It all fucking crushed. And so then we went to what's it called? Not Shake Shack.
Copper Turtle?
No. The guys and I. That's still that's Saturday afternoon.
Oh,
what was it?
Smoke Shack.
Smoke Shack. That's Smoke Shack. Had beer and some barbecue, and then it's really funny. This the highlight of this, and maybe I don't have time to incorporate the video, but it would be fucking hilarious. So then the guys want to go work out at the club, so they were going to work out and then do their steam and all this other kind of stuff, and so we shot some hoops for a while, just played some basketball, not like game stuff, because I said I'm not going to run the risk of twisting an ankle. No one's playing this stuff. And the guys were laughing. I don't know if you heard this part. The guys were talking about how they want to do some serious weightlifting. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And so they were all terrified, though, that they're going to do all this weightlifting and then be immovable because they're going to be so sore. Anyhow, Kathy and I that morning had done this sled routine where we pushed this sled across the entirety of this workout facility, maybe 50 yards round trip, right? And we did it 8 times with weights. And then we would in between those things do sit up. Well, one person was doing the push, the other person would do sit ups. So I said to the guys, well, here's our workout. They only did 2 laps. That's it. 2. And then they were wiped out. And I was dying over that. So I left them. They finished their workout, hit the sauna, steam room, all the other kind of stuff. I actually ironed shirts.
Nice.
Sam Heilenbach's. And then you weren't alone at all when you were getting right. You were always with somebody.
Correct. Yeah. I scooted into my daughter's room and got ready with her, and she zipped me up and stuff. So
yeah. Isn't it funny? I was by myself. I had a full 45 minutes of getting dressed and shaving and sitting there with my thoughts. And at one point I start to cry. Like, what am I doing? I can't do no, I truly
my
start.
My life is going to be over.
I went and looked through the pictures of you and me. And I'm going to start getting emotional now. And I started crying, going, I cannot believe it's here already. And sorry, babe.
Don't apologize when you cry, please.
And so I had these moments, and then now this is where it gets funny. I went, all right, you got to get back in the shower again. And I took a cold shower, not to make that area cool off. It's because I wanted to make sure my face didn't swell.
Yeah.
So I went into the shower with basically cold water and just ran my face on it because my eyes were swelling. Because I had a legitimate warm emotional moment. So
you've been very emotional. Yesterday you were super emotional.
I want to get to that at the end. Yeah. Okay. I was also hungover and tired.
Yes.
Yeah. Got that. That doesn't help. So that was Saturday. And then when you were getting ready to go, what was going through your mind? Let me back up. Sorry. So everyone knows sequentially what we did. I then left with the guys at 3:15. I get a call from Aaron saying there are 20-mile-an-hour winds, 30-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah, that was hard because you called me. You're like, Kath, should we abort? Should we, it's windy here. Nothing. The rugs are blowing
Aaron
away.
FaceTimes me and the rugs are blowing away. The decor is
falling
flying all over
Should we just take this inside? I'm like, oh my gosh. And it was such a bummer to think about because it was like a 75-degree day in October, and the sun is shining, but the winds on the water are even worse. And then
So Aaron was really nervous and called, and so I called you and said, "Yo, babe, should we cancel this?" And I hope you didn't hear it as desperation. It was really. You want to know what it was?
I think it was a little bit.
No, it was wanting your advice. That's how I wanted to talk to you, nobody else. And then finally I'm in the car. I said, let me call you back. And I call Aaron, and the guys are there with me. the 3 boys, right? And I said, hold on a second. And I know my Sam knows how I'm processing. He goes, you're just going to call it, aren't you? And I'm like, yeah. So I call up Aaron. I'm like, fuck it. We're doing it. Don't give a shit about the win. It's going to be fine. It'll be something we look back on and laugh at.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not worried about anything. I don't care if Kathy's hair just comes completely undone. We're going to laugh at this. And I want to be laughing. Hung up the phone. And the guys were like, oh, God, we thought you were going to move it. We thought we were going to bring it inside. And I went, no, fuck it. I just told Aaron, let's do this. And then we got there and it was just a train wreck. And so we were all pinning things down. The guys were all incredibly helpful and we got everything set up. And then, so, as everyone was showing up, Erin was getting really anxious. She was worried about timing and she wanted to make sure she was doing it right. And I think she was incredibly self-conscious, which is okay. Totally understandable. And then calling you to get ready for all this stuff was a thrill for me, saying, all right, babe, come on by, because you and your dad were waiting down the block to come join us. So what was going on in your head through all this?
Well, I definitely was worried about the wind. I was like, oh boy, these winds. And I was worried about the stresses that I knew you guys were going through because I was just showing up, right? And, but overall, babe, and you and I have talked about this, I was very, very relaxed. It was like, of course, this is what I'm doing. This is what Jack and I are doing. This is right for us. There was no qualms or hesitations or worries or nerves. The only thing that I was thinking about wanting to get right was when I read my vows to you, not crying that much.
Yeah.
Because I do cry so easily. And I definitely had some ugly going on during those cries.
It was beautiful. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Up my face.
Stop. I loved it.
Yeah. But
so you when you were walking down the aisle, what were you thinking?
Soaking in all the people there, soaking in the decorations, which I loved. Erin channeled the perfect amount of bohemian and the setting.
Yep.
I thought it was funny that didn't know there'd be a big what are those ships called that had all the rocks
so
in it?
Funny.
It's
they were
like
moving rocks
one of these
Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock.
Freightliners or something.
Huge. All you hear was gagoosh. They're building up a shoreline.
Yes.
Right
so
behind
in the background of our pictures, you got this big ugly ship with rocks on it and a crane.
Because it was supposed to be sailboats and a skyline, and all you see is massive crane.
Yes.
We pull up there, and I go, "Who the fuck does overtime work on a Saturday?" Right? Because it's clearly overtime work. But anyway, but that's what those things you have to be prepared for, right?
No doubt. Yeah. So
we read each other's vows. That was beautiful. Aaron's speech to us was stunning. I thought it was funny when Aaron said, "Repeat after me," and I just said, "I do."
Yeah.
I hope that made you laugh.
Yeah.
I felt that way. I did. And I remember at one point when we were done going, "Can I please kiss her now?" Do you remember that? Yeah.
But you also kissed me when I walked up, and I kissed you when I walked up.
Oh, that's
and
right.
My father gave me, and Aaron's like, "Hey,
not yet.
Hey, not yet.
Right.
None of that." Yeah, it was funny. And I felt so grateful that my parents are, and your mom too. We of course did not have your father with us, but really grateful that my parents were able to be there. And my dad walked me down the aisle. That felt really special.
It was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I felt relaxed the whole time. The only challenge I had, and I think I told you about this, was the sun was right over your shoulders. And so it was right in my face and I couldn't see the whole time. And I know in looking back in pictures, it's not a squinted look. It's more of a strained look because it was literally a white ball right behind your head.
It's so funny because I'm so used to that.
Oh, I couldn't stand it.
Yeah. It's very funny.
I like sun, but not like that. I wanted my sunglasses. I was asking Aaron, can I wear my sunglasses? And everyone was saying, well, just wear them. And I went, well, not if Kathy's not wearing sunglasses, right? So, and I couldn't wear them.
No.
So anyway, favorite part of the ceremony for you? What was your favorite part?
I think I really enjoyed soaking in what Erin had to say.
Same. That was me.
Yeah.
I loved
I
your
know
vows.
she spent so much, and I loved yours too, babe. Yours were very clever and witty and funny, not surprisingly. I just love knowing she put so much time into it, knowing that you have known her for so many years, and she really is a fan of ours, which is amazing. I was just in the moment, enjoying what she said. I felt I was very present. I'm very happy about that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought her speech was awesome. The only
thing distracting was the wind taking my bangs, blowing them over like a bad comb over.
No, it didn't look like that at all to me. It really didn't. You looked so beautiful. I didn't see any of that. I don't care.
Thanks,
either.
honey.
I know you're aware of that way more than me. I just wanted you there. I couldn't give a shit.
I know.
Favorite part of the reception? What was your most memorable part of the reception?
Just looking out and seeing everybody else enjoying. We had tables selected and looking out and seeing everybody talking. Our people talking to each other. And some of them meeting for the first time, and that was fun.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
I loved that at the end of the night, Sam was playing and everyone was singing along.
Yes.
That was fantastic to me.
Yes.
That was just...
You couldn't have planned that. You couldn't have said...
No.
He just had to make sure if he was comfortable, it was going to happen.
And it was great seeing the younger kids like Olivia and her boyfriend Colin and everyone kind of chime in because that's their vibe, right? That's their thing. So I don't know. I just thought that for me, the fun part for me was just watching.
Yeah.
And seeing
everybody. I also, you wrote me an original song.
Yeah.
Which was beautiful.
Yeah.
And Key got up with the mandolin and accompanied you on the song.
How did it sound?
That was, I recorded.
No, I don't want to listen to it now, but how did it sound?
Great.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
It was beautiful.
I'm going to record that song for us.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, I called Mike and said I want to record that song in the studio.
Cool.
So it's on the new album.
Cool.
So I'm going to, when we get back from London, head into the studio, and I'd like you to actually be at the recording.
Love it.
I'd like you to be at the recording studio.
All right.
Does that sound good?
That sounds good.
And then I'm going to have Key play the mando.
Okay.
So anyway, does that sound good?
That sounds great, babe.
All right. So then after dinner, we did a lot of fun things. We had a trivia game, which I thought was fun to play with everybody.
Yeah.
Where we had questions of them about us and see who could answer stuff. It was really fun. And then we met up with a bunch of other friends.
We did.
At a bar called the Copper Turtle. And so thank you to everyone who came to that as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know? Wasn't that awesome?
Absolutely. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So I have one last thing because we
Okay.
tend to go about 45 minutes and
Okay.
I want to take about 10 more minutes at best.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're not going to do any questions from the Skin
and.
Deep and but we love them all the same. We're not going to do any questions from them today because I have one question for you to end it. But the next day we had brunch.
Mm-hmm. Here at the house.
You and I get up super early. We don't do a workout because we're too tired, but we get up early. We watch Chef's Table on Netflix and then ran and did all of our errands to get ready for people coming over. So we went to the National Cafe. Shout out to them.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for providing us with amazing food. We went to Corner Bakery, right? Was it Corner Bakery or no, Panera? Panera. So thank you to them for providing us with the coffee and bagels and stuff.
Thank you to our sponsors.
So shout out to them for making the next day brunch fantastic.
Yep.
Which was great. Everyone was there to join us at brunch, which was awesome. And a beautiful day for that as well. I mean, just freaking stunning. Gorgeous,
really was.
warm, sunny. I mean, we couldn't have asked for a better weekend.
Yes.
And then obviously one by one, everyone takes off. And then you and I have to go back to Ernesto and grab all the things that we left there, the pictures, etc., and the gifts. And we said we didn't want gifts. And so here's where I'm going with this. And I might get emotional now. We're sitting down now after cleaning up the house and we finally get a chance to breathe. We're watching the Bears. Bears.
Who won?
Go Bears. They're going to be in London where we're going to be for our honeymoon.
I know.
How crazy is that?
We're not going.
We're not going, though. No, that's not important to us. I'm sure I'll check in on the score, but other than that.
Mm-hmm.
So for everybody listening, we are sitting now at home opening up these gifts and cards and all these wonderful things from people. And I start bawling,
Yeah.
right? And then you even said that you were overwhelmed at one point by everything, and I'm getting at a loss for words now. You can hear it. I'm just touched by how
incredible generosity, and not everybody's going to like you, right? But we were blessed in this event to have so many people that we like, and for them to show up in spades for us and show how much they care about us is very, very overwhelming. And not that gifts, are a measure of how they care, because there's plenty of people that didn't bring gifts, and that is totally what we wanted too. Not plenty of people. That's not true. I think everybody did get us a gift, but that wasn't the intention. But yeah, the gifts were very generous, and we were very moved and not used to that. And it just is overwhelming emotionally to feel everybody caring so much and so happy for us. And that was...
And rooting for us,
and rooting for us, for sure.
And I was over...
We better make this work.
Yeah. I told you this morning, being married to you does not feel wrong. It feels absolutely natural. From the moment we met, aside from you love bombing me a little early on and scaring me that way. What? I said to you this morning, I suddenly feel different. Mm-hmm. And I know you're like, I don't feel any different at all, right? And I feel responsible to everyone who is there and who roots for us. Mm-hmm. Not to stay in this relationship. That's not what I mean. Mm-hmm. It's we have so little time left on this planet. I'm not trying to be corny, but 20 years from now, when we're 78 years old, it's going to fly by. Mm-hmm. And I just feel we have a response. I felt overwhelmed by the outpouring of affection from everybody. Not just from them showing up, like Peter and Debbie driving us back to the Mac at the end of the night.
Yeah, that was fun.
Taylor and Danielle. Mm-hmm. I know I'm going to forget people. The two friends of yours, the women we met at the...
Katie and Karen.
Jill. Terry.
So many people.
I know I'm falling short on the list. Janet Nelson. Mm-hmm. The other couple, the guy who's got the hairline is me.
Doug and Nancy.
Sarah.
Yep.
I know I'm forgetting some, Aubrey and Jill. Anyway, if I forget anyone, I'm so sorry. You're probably not even listening to the podcast anyway. But I was truly heavily crying in our living room as we were opening up the gifts from everybody.
Yeah.
John getting me John and Susan getting the Walter Payton picture. It's just, it's people that gave a shit, and it just makes me make sure we got to show up for everybody. And it's not just I know you were joking about making this work, but I feel responsible suddenly. Is that weird to say that? Like I guess I never realized.
I think it's probably a pretty natural feeling after an event like that, where you feel when somebody has been so gracious to you and so generous, you feel a responsibility to make sure you're always deserving of that.
Yeah, that's all.
So
I was a little
stuff,
overwhelmed.
Husband. Good stuff.
You got to come full circle.
Your wifey is starving right now. I've been awake since 2 a.m. and it's 7:15 a.m. It's time
okay,
for a
so the
nap.
next time you guys hear from us, are we thinking of taking this stuff with us on the road or no?
Oh, we'll discuss that.
All right.
Later. We'll see.
Next time you hear from us, we will tell you about our honeymoon. So on that note, everybody,
peace. You just listened to another episode of the Jack and Kathy Shit Show. All recording, engineering, and production provided by us. Connect with the podcast on Instagram at Jack and Kathy Shit Show for more insight into our shit show of a life. This episode is proudly brought to you by Pint Productions.
Point.